Lil Durk is currently one of the biggest rap stars in the music industry, with numerous hot singles and amazing features with nearly every major artist in the game. The rapper is carving a name for himself deep in music halls of fame. The rapper has recently been in the news a lot for a number of different reasons, from dropping hot new music to various controversies. One thing is for sure, Lil Durk is a complete entertainer in every sense of the word. From his unique looks to his smooth, easy flow, Lil Durk is every inch the modern rapper. Not to mention that the rapper enjoys the love and admiration of his city. In this video, we'll be finding what makes the rapper tick and how he may be involved in the death of King Von. Early life. Durk Banks, also known as Lil Durk, is an American rapper. Lil Durk was born in Chicago, Illinois, and grew up in Inglewood, a sizable neighborhood on Chicago's south side. Durk Banks was born on October 19, 1982, to Dante Banks, who was involved with a nurse. Lil Durk's mother's name is not known. Lil Durk and his brother D-Thang, along with his two sisters, were forced to shoulder responsibilities early as their father was jailed when Durk was just 7 years old. In an interview, Durk talks about his family had to move from a comfortable home to a 3-bedroom apartment where 10 people lived at the same time. Durk's father was apprehended with about 6 bricks of crack cocaine, worth about $8 million at the time of his arrest. From a very early age, Durk had begun to make money moves to make sure that he and his family were taken care of. The rapper created a YouTube channel and a MySpace page to promote himself and his music. Lil Durk was also playing basketball for a long time while maintaining his side hustles on the streets. By the time young Durk was 10 years old, he was already very involved in street life. As Lil Durk turned 17, however, he decided to turn full-time rap. It was during this period that Durk and his friends created their own rap collective known as Only the Family. Durk also became a father at a very young age. Career success. After the young rapper's efforts to get signed to Chief Keef and French Montana's record labels fell through, Durk decided to approach rapping as a full-time career. The Inglewood rapper quickly dropped 2 hit mixtapes for the streets, I'm a Hitter and Sneak Dissin', which did encouraging numbers on the social media and streaming platforms. Fueled by the success of his previous music, Durk went ahead to release a new mixtape with Paris Bueller, and he called the tape, I'm Still a Hitter. Durk was slowly becoming a legend on the streets of his city. In 2013, Rolling Stone included Durk's album, Signed to the Streets, as number 8 in its 10 best albums of the year. Durk's Signed to the Street album featured a number of appearances from the former Glow Gang rapper Lil Reese. The mixtape had 8 videos shot for it. The album came just before his Life Ain't No Joke mixtape. This mixtape in particular was able to rack up close to 216,000 downloads on Dat Piff. Durk also dropped the popular anthem, L's Anthem. Lil Durk's popularity and music eventually led him to sign a joint venture deal with Def Jam Records. The contract married the rapper's collective, Only the Family, and Def Jam Records. In an interview with XXL, the rapper also mentioned that he was working on an album for Def Jam. Durk did not stop there, and in 2014, he was named as part of the XXL freshman class. In 2015, the Chicago rapper released a sequel to his mixtape, Signed to the Streets 2. In 2015, Durk announced to all his friends the title of his upcoming project, a studio album named Remember My Name. The first single of the album was released on the same day, and the release date was dropped as well. Durk eventually released the album on June 2nd, and it peaked as number 14 on the Billboard 200. Durk's Remember My Name also sold 24,000 copies in the first week of its release. Once again, the Chicago rapper proved that he could always bring the heat. Later that year, Durk came hard again with his 6th mixtape. This one he called 300 Days, 300 Nights. He teased his fans with the hit single My Beyonce, which featured rapper Dej Loaf. A year later, the single was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America for a single equivalent of 500,000 copies. In 2020, Durk was featured on one of the biggest tracks of the year with Drake. The rapper's appearance on Laugh Now, Cry Later made him even more famous than he previously was. Legal battles. In 2011, the rapper was arrested on a weapons charge, which landed him in jail for 3 months. A similar situation occurred in 2013 when Durk was arrested after he allegedly threw a loaded gun away after police approached him on the street in Chicago. Lil Durk was charged with unlawful use of a firearm and was held on a $100,000 bond. His lawyer, however, claimed to have at least 9 affidavits from witnesses who claimed that Lil Durk was innocent and not the real owner of the weapon. He was eventually released not long after. This was unfortunately not the end of Durk's legal challenges. In 2014, the Chicago rapper was convicted of second-degree murder and his house was searched. The search was carried out because a person charged with second-degree murder accused him of having guns in his possession. Not long after this incident, in 2015, Durk's bus was shot up seriously just hours before a scheduled tour performance. One person was left dead, however, Durk was not questioned in the case. In addition to his legal battles, Durk has been known to have solid gang affiliations. As a member of the Black Disciples, a known rival gang of the Gangsta Disciples, it's safe to say that Durk has always been involved in the streets. In early 2014, Durk's cousin was killed in a shooting, but the details of his death are not very clear. Not long after his cousin's death, Durk's friend and manager was shot dead. More recently, the rapper and his girlfriend were involved in a home invasion that went south, forcing Lil Durk and his girlfriend India to release their weapons on their would-be attackers and eventually scaring them off. Beef. When Durk isn't busy being an all-around entertainer, the rapper has never been shy of calling out whoever he feels disrespected by, and this has led him into a number of beef situations. His tape Signed to the Streets 2 was dropped amidst a lot of controversy surrounding the rapper. STTS was dropped not long after a social media spat between Chicago rapper and veteran rappers The Game and Tyga. In an interview, Durk had this to say. "That little beef kinda raised the bar," Durk noted. "People were like, damn, I can't wait till he comes out with another project. So instead of an album, I just hit him with another mixtape." The beef that Durk is referring to here is a misunderstanding that originated when Tyga asked Durk to change a lie on the song Get That Money, where Durk rapped about getting Tyga's girlfriend Black China. Durk had agreed to change the line if Tyga ever got on the song with him. However, Tyga curved Durk and never got the song back to him, which sparked the beef. Later on in the year, in his Chirac remix, featuring Shy Glizzy and Meek Mill, Tyga posted a snippet of one of his bars on Instagram which said, "Who the f is Lil Durk? I'll dust you like ash and perk. Your flow's whack, my flow's crack." Durk immediately responded by going to his Twitter account to release a very thinly veiled threat saying, "Every time a rap beef, you get clapped up in a couple weeks. IG comments and a couple tweets, location on, we can go and meet. Hashtag Chirac." 2 days later, Tyga came back at Lil Durk, and this time he had recruited The Game for backup. In a song titled Chirac to LA, Tyga unleashed at Durk, calling him small time and reminding the Chicago rapper that he was nominated for the Grammy. It was at this point that The Game got involved. The LAOG came after Durk with lines like, "I don't f with no new niggas. They like to sue, no woo, nigga. Tyga hit me like Durk dissing. Durk and whiskey, Durk who, nigga. Never heard of these niggas. Some of the nerve of these niggas. Don't make me put on burgundy, nigga. Let the AK, I'm serving these niggas. Yo, T-Raw, time to murder these niggas." And Lil Durk, under a Lil Durk, and nobody knows you. This ain't what they want, nobody knows you. I thought that was Future's song. I'm about to show you. You done caught yourself a little L, dog. Man, nobody knows you. You heard of Lil Durk? Hell nah. There were a number of back and forth until Game and Lil Durk officially met during the BET Awards to squash their beef. The Game took to Twitter to say this after they had squashed their beef. "My big homie G-Weed put at Lil Durk on the phone with me. He's dead. We chopped it up like real and both sides respect each other." In 2019, Lil Durk and his fellow Only the Family rapper King Von appeared in the Fulton County Court to face charges from 5 felonies. Earlier that year, the two rappers were involved in a shooting that happened outside of a popular Atlanta restaurant named The Varsity. The rappers maintained their innocence, and Durk even gave an interview to a local TV station, maintaining that he was innocent of all the charges brought against him. Soon after the interview, Durk dropped a new song titled Turn Myself In, where he raps about his legal situation and his innocence in all of it. King Von. The Chicago rapper and his fellow collective member turned themselves into law enforcement. According to prosecution lawyers, Durk and King Von planned to rob Witherspoon because they knew that he had $30,000, an expensive diamond chain, and a nice car. The surveillance video, however, never actually showed Durk or King Von shooting from the street at Witherspoon. But there was enough evidence to make the court set a date for their bond hearing. Tekashi 6ix9ine and Lil Durk have had a very long and strained relationship. Since Tekashi's visit to Chicago, where he disrespected the fallen by pouring from his drink and announcing the drop of his album, Lil Durk has been vocal about his dislike for Tekashi. Tekashi has also continued to antagonize King Von, even going as far as disrespecting the rapper's dead cousin, King Von. Although Lil Durk has refrained from engaging in any social media scuffles, he recently released an Instagram post with a subliminal message that's most likely targeted at Tekashi 6ix9ine. Although King Von's death is most likely linked to his beef with Quando Rondo, a number of people have spoken up about the situation, mentioning that if Lil Durk was not always linked to one beef or the other, his collective member, King Von, would be alive today. King Von's passing was just one of several high-profile deaths that have surrounded the rapper since his ascent to fame, and naturally, this has become a major source of controversy. That brings us to the end of today's video. If you liked the video, please leave a like and a comment below. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new content.